This is Barnstable Today for Tuesday, December 6th. Welcome aboard. I'm Mark Mumford.
The Department of Public Works is feeling pretty good about the accomplishments of '08. That's our focus today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Friel.
We caught up with Mark Ells at the DPW Highway Garage today for an assessment of last year's effort as well as a look ahead. Tell us about some of the highlights of the year that's gone by. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, it's been a productive year this year. We received full funding of our public roads program a couple of years ago. We're really starting to see the results of that right now. We repaved Pitcher's Way and we repaved a series of roads in Hyannis, Ridgewood, Spring Street, a section of High School Road. We're looking forward to move. We're going to move forward with we're going to move forward with School Street in Cotuit in the spring and a section of Race Lane in the spring. We were busy with Mass Highway out on Route 132 this year, and that was a very positive project for the community. We were glad to see that get done ahead of time and on budget, and we have a landscaping component that they'll be bidding this winter, and so you'll see some more work out there spring and fall of next year to add the landscaping aspect of the Route 132 project. So our roads program has been very active. We've also been very busy at our highway division, obviously responding to maintenance and also to respond to snow and ice this season. It's been a busy snow and ice season, up to date.
Now you hit on roads number one, and I would guess for the average resident of the town of Barnstable, that probably would be their number one priority. Do you see that as the number one priority, or is it always a mix?
Well, it's certainly a mix because we cover a much broader area than just public roads, though a lot of people think of us snow and ice response and pothole patching, which is a big part of what we do. I think that we're involved with wastewater, solid waste, water supply, and buildings and grounds as well, marinas, beaches. So Public Works is involved throughout the community in managing our infrastructure, and we do both the operations and the capital. On the building side, we've been active at the West Barnstable Community Building. We've been re-siding, re-roofing, doing the chimney out there. That's about done. We're over at Centerville now. We've met with the Civic Association and ready to move forward with some more repairs there around the grounds and some ADA or handicap compliance there. We're looking at making improvements at the Millway Bathhouse. So we're very active throughout the community on facilities. Obviously, the youth center is a huge project that we're looking forward to completing on time, on budget for the fall of next year. And so the building side of what we do is very active as well. On the water side, we're moving forward with the design of a new water tower, installation of pipes to replace some of the old systems that we have in place within our water supply in Hyannis. Our Water Pollution Control Division is real busy with an upgrade at that facility and replacement of some of the facility. A lot of it was built in the 70s and 80s, so it's time that we replaced it. We're on schedule with those replacements. We're on budget. And then at Solid Waste Division, hopefully we'll move forward with a new building. We ended up repackaging that bid, rebidding that, coming in with a better price, and we look forward to moving forward with that project in the spring.
You know, it's interesting, Mark, because you have such a broad spectrum. The scope of your department is so broad, a lot of people probably don't have a good realization of that. But I've heard you mention just a few times in this conversation, I've heard a lot in '08. On time and on budget. It seems like this has been a good year for projects being on time and on budget, or '08 was.
Well, it has. I think coming into this year, we saw very volatile pricing. We had steel prices going up, gasoline prices, and so it was very difficult to predict what the next bid would come at. That has stabilized. On the horizontal construction side, roads, pipes, things like that, we're actually seeing a better bid environment. The vertical construction has stabilized. We haven't necessarily seen that gone down. All of that spells more projects and typically better projects for us. So we're excited about that.
Now, it's interesting, too, we're standing here, we're in front of some large trucks that obviously use a lot of fuel. You, like everyone else, were looking at escalating fuel prices a few months ago. We didn't know where that was going to go. Things have sort of reversed. I'm sure you look into your crystal ball. Where do you see that all playing out for your department?
Well, it's still a major challenge for us. We have always been focused on our fuel and energy usage. And we've been in a mode for the last 5 years where we're looking at more efficient and effective ways to provide heat for our buildings or fuel for our vehicles. Our highway division leads the effort on the fuel and vehicle efficiency and equipment efficiency side. When they replace vehicles and equipment within our fleet, they always are getting more efficient vehicles. And in some cases, we're looking at alternative technologies. We brought on the first hybrid vehicle into our vehicle fleet within the town, and it's utilized by our highway foreman and our division supervisor. We're going to add more of those. We'll probably create a pool of those, and then we'll share them amongst the appropriate level of employee. It's important to remember, though, that a lot of what you see here, these large vehicles, aren't always available, and you can certainly get more fuel efficient, but you can't necessarily get a more cost-effective hybrid-type vehicle. They do make them, but we have to be ready for winter response and emergency response, so we're always balancing that. But we've seen huge gains in efficiency on our vehicle and equipment side, and that's attributed to the staff and their focus over the. Again, it hasn't been a reaction to rising gas prices. It was fortunate that we were in that mode already because it's minimized the effect. On the building side, about the same sort of approach. We've been working for about 5 years on doing audits of our buildings, putting in place systems within our buildings, whether it's HVAC systems, heating, looking at the lighting systems, replacing those out as funds are available or grants become available. Cape Light Compact has been a huge helper in doing the audits of those and then moving forward with improvements within many of our facilities. So what we've been able to do there is keep the costs of operation down. We haven't necessarily seen cuts there, but you all know that electric and gas bills are going up, up, up. So we've been able to try to minimize that impact, and we'll continue to do that.
Of course, there are more immediate concerns at the DPW as they have been preparing for a wintry weather system passing through tonight.
Yes. Anybody who's interested in plowing for us, we do about 2/3 of our routes with contractor, 1/3 of the snow plowing with our own workforce. They can call our highway division at 790-6331 and talk with Bob Lovell or Mike Perry or any other staff, and they can get them the information they would need. We're always watching, and it's another area where we've gained efficiencies. Our highway staff is actually very proficient in dealing with snow and ice response. A lot of our residents called after the last larger storm we had, and they said, "What are you putting out all this material on the road before the storm hits? Aren't you aware of the economic times?" And we said, "Well, actually we are. And what we're doing is we're pre-treating our roadways with a material. It's called ice band. It's mixed in with the salt, and it goes down, and what it does is it allows for melting to occur as soon as the storm starts. It allows us to reduce the amount of sand and sanding calls that we have, and then what happens is it actually, when it gets wet again, there's a residual effect on the roadways, so it can last, unless we get a big, heavy snowstorm, it can last up to 3 days out on our roadways.
Meanwhile, if you have snow and ice problems, the DPW encourages you to give them a call at their special snow and ice line, 508-790-6331.
Meanwhile, a couple of meetings to tell you about coming up in Town Hall this evening. It's the Conservation Commission at 6:30 in the Selectmen's Conference Room. Then at 7, the school committee meets in the hearing room.
Then tomorrow evening's meeting schedule features the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Committee gathering in the School Administration Building at 7 o'clock. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Kevin Friel.
We'll meet you right back here tomorrow. I'm Mark Mumford.